Yeah. So, you know, this idea of creating a more complex ecosystem started quite a few years ago. Here we're in an area where we have woods, very old woods that have a permanent stream with a huge population, like a lot of wildlife. We have another one here, and so when this first block was planted, the idea was to have them communicate and make sure we can kind of create this corridor for all of the wildlife. So that was, you know, step one. But now that we are, you know, going full on regenerative, you actually have to really think your practices through in advance. And so vineyard design becomes vastly different. So what you see behind me is the planting we did this year. So it's tilled because you need to prep soil in order to plant. But we've done a few things to help us succeed in our practices. First one is rootstock. We're planting rootstock that's a lot more drought tolerant. Varietals that are late ripening, very drought tolerant, heat tolerant. Like here we have some Bourboulin and we have some white Carignan. Lowering density so that there's less competition, between vines. All of this is going to promote vigor, which means I can have a bunch of plants growing in my vine rows without it creating extra competition. And finally, the idea is to cultivate life and not maximize life and not maximize production. And so you'll see here there's like 13 rows and they're separated by little patches you can see. These patches in August will be seeded to wildflower prairies. And then in January, we'll come in and plant hedgerows. So there's going to be a big corridor over there to, you know, connect this wooded area. This is going to be multiple size trees, all natives. Same here to connect these woods. And then within the vines, it's going to be more aromatic shrubs, native again, that are going to help have a lot of birds and insects. All of this to promote natural predation. Again, the more complex an ecosystem is, the more it tends towards balance and the less you have to come in and intervene. And so, you know, the idea is to have as wild and flourishing an ecosystem, because I am so convinced that that's only going to help have more of a sense of place and vines that are expressing their terroir to the maximum of their potential. And finally, yeah, the social component. This is maybe doesn't seem like much, but we've raised the wire for trellising quite a bit, so it's about waist height. In France, traditionally, vines were planted extremely low. That is very painful work. And so, you know, raising the wire is a small action we can do to make sure that work is a lot more comfortable and less strenuous. Also less, you know, back injuries and long-term kind of, health issues.
Right. So it's really breaking up in smaller pieces so we can have balance in the ecosystem. And we also, as we traveled, you've seen this area of France, you know, is not just vines. I was telling Kathleen in the bus, it's a little like California. We have a vast diversity. We have fruit trees, we have vegetables, olives, almond trees, vineyards. And so it's very favorable to that approach of diversification in ecosystem. I suggest we go back to the bus. I think we're done.